Tension and terror is rising fast. The VIPs are coming and more games are yet to be unfolded. It's Squid Game's 6th episode called Gganbu, meaning a childhood best friend who shares everything. A relationship cemented by the ritual of a pinky swear. Undercover detective Jun-ho overhears the frontman fielding a phone conversation concerning the arrival of the game's mysterious VIPs. And then the action is completely focused on the players in their next game when to express the competition's wild nature. They're all marched by the hanging bodies of the guards and the doctor who had been cheating. After that, I'm sure everyone felt a lot better. The contestants' next duty is to form two-person teams. After the tug-of-war game, everyone expects they'll be working with, not against, the person they're paired with. Sang-woo and Ollie, a brains-and-brawn duo who also happen to like each other, choose each other. Player number 240, the young woman who joined the main protagonist's tug-of-war team, persuades sae-byeok, the North Korean thief, to join them. Deok-su, the gangster, appoints number 278 as one of his henchmen. Mi-nyeo, the deceitful player number 212, is left alone by guards. Her fate is uncertain. Despite his reservations, Gi-hun joins forces with the elderly gentleman. Player 1, preserving his dignity by tying his own jacket around the man's waist to conceal a wet patch from when the poor man soiled his trousers. Unfortunately, to everyone's surprise, the following game is marbles, and your partner is your enemy, not your ally. Everyone gets a certain amount of marbles and has to gamble them with their opponent in a chosen game of their own. The loser dies. This is a more difficult situation for certain teams, such as the married couple, husband and wife duo who have a minor role in the program. Yet they have to decide who lives and who dies. It was less hard for such people as Deok-su and his main henchmen, who don't give a damn about each other. They are trying their hardest to win. Deok-su starts off badly. He loses lots of his marbles and, after successfully asking his guard to change the game they'd been playing, he switches it to a game of marble golf. Deok-su wins the game and saves his life. His opponent's last marble bumps his into the hole, awarding him the game and saving his life. Things are more difficult for our other heroes, because neither sae-byeok nor her companion 240 wants play marbles, and it's very hard for them to choose who lives. Player 240 rejects the game as a boomer pastime. They agree to wait until the last minute and pass the time by telling their tragic life tales. Sae-byeok tells a story of her father. During their effort to flee North Korea, her father was shot and executed, while her mother was returned home by security forces. Player 240 was sexually molested by her pastor father, which also had murdered their mother. This explains her anger towards religion. We learn that player 240 was released from prison just to return to the games after stabbing his father to death. She explains that she had nowhere else to go. She eventually throws the game and lets herself be slain, saving sae life. Sae-byeok is very shocked by her decision. Sang-woo and Ollie, like many of the other teams, including Gi-hun and the old man, begin by predicting whether their opponent is holding an even or odd number of marbles in his hand, placing a bet with some of their own marbles. When Ollie takes a significant lead, Sang-woo flips out, accusing him of cheating, begging for his life, and finally arranging a backup plan. He sends Ollie out to find another team that appears like it might finish up with no obvious winner, in the hopes that if their game doesn't have a clear winner, they'll be forced to fight against other team, not needing to fight between themselves, allowing both Ollie and Sang-woo to live. What Ollie doesn't realize until it is too late is that Sang-woo swapped his bag of marbles out with a bag full of pebbles, taken from the fake street set in which the marble game is played. So much for their beautiful friendship, and so much for Ollie, who dies feeling the sting of betrayal from a man he thought was his friend. Gi-hun and his elderly companion also play the odd, even guessing game, though it takes some effort to get there because the progressive dementia made the old guy believe the false street is his childhood street. Gi-hun eventually persuades him that he must play, but he also takes advantage of the old man's deteriorating mental abilities, rigging the game twice by altering an odd bet to even and vice versa in order to win rounds when the old man forgets what he said previously. But before he can win, Gi-hun makes a mistake and realizes the old guy has one more marble. But he ends up roaming through the fictitious streets once more, until he discovers what he believes to be his house. Gi-hun urges him to continue the game, since if the clear winner is not decided they both might die. And so the old man suggests playing one final round for all the marbles. When Gi-hun, who has almost all of the marbles at this point, objects to the suggestion, asking if it would be fair, since the old man has just won. The old man asks sharply if fooling him, as Gi-hun has done, was fair. Instead of continuing the game, he simply hands Gi-hun the remaining last marble. After all, they'd vowed to be best friends, thus meaning the marble is equally his and Gi-hun's. During the last moments of his life, the old man finally tells Gi-hun his name, Nam, and just after that he gets shot to death. This is Squid Game's most intense and emotional episode. Thanks for watching and subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this.